History's strange, it's alien, and it won't give us what we would like to have.
What you are looking at should not exist. A submarine built for war sitting 9,000 feet above sea level in the Rocky Mountains. No salt air, no coastline, no Navy yard, just thin air, pine trees, and snow. And yet this story is real. It begins with recovery, not invention, in the winter of 1944. Central City, Colorado was once called the richest square mile on Earth. Gold pulled people here. Engineering kept them alive. This was a place that solved hard problems with muscle, math, and stubbornness. Naval innovation was not on the menu. The nearest ocean sat more than 1,000 miles away, which makes the next part difficult to explain without a raised eyebrow. Rufus T. Owens was a respected engineer in this district. He designed water systems for Central City and Black Hawk. He built mine infrastructure that had to endure pressure, darkness, and failure. He was also a recluse, which often means a man thinks longer than he speaks. Somewhere along the way, practical skill collided with a far less practical idea. The late 1890s were alive with submarine fever. The Spanish-American War made underwater weapons seem urgent and modern. Inventors like John Holland were winning Navy contracts. Owens paid attention. He built his submarine quietly inside a shed, away from ridicule and competition. This was not a joke to him. It was an attempt. He named it the Nautilus, a nod to Jules Verne and a hint of ambition. The vessel took shape as a cigar of wood and metal, built high above the Continental Divide. It was meant to prove that even here, far from the sea, new warfare could be imagined. The craft was about 20 feet long, hand-hewn wood wrapped in soldered zinc and iron. It had the bones of something serious. It also had the proportions of a prototype, not a finished weapon. And then there were the mysteries. 5-foot iron rods protruded from the sides. No one knows why. More troubling, when the vessel was later recovered, there was no steering mechanism and no propulsion system. Whether these were never installed or lost to decay remains an open question. History sometimes leaves fingerprints, not answers. In the summer of 1898, the Nautilus was taken to Missouri Lake. Owens planned to pilot it himself. Friends intervened and insisted on an unmanned test. That intervention likely saved his life. To simulate a crew, the submarine was loaded with rock, a great deal of it. Estimates range from 1,500 pounds to 3 tons. The ballast was unbalanced. When the Nautilus entered the water, it tipped, swallowed water through the open hatch, and sank straight to the bottom. No drama, no struggle, just physics. Owens could not recover it. The lake froze. Technology failed him. He abandoned the project and moved on with his life, eventually dying in 1919. The submarine stayed put, slowly turning into legend. A saloon story. Something people swore existed, usually after a drink. In 1932, the lake was partially drained for mining operations. The hull briefly reappeared, proving the doubters wrong. Souvenir hunters stripped the hatch. Then the water returned, and the Nautilus vanished again. Finally, in 1944, a local man named Fred de Mandel decided the story deserved proof. He remembered seeing the sub as a child. His team chopped holes in the ice and searched with glass-bottom buckets until they found it. The recovery became a town holiday. Schools closed, businesses shut down. As the submarine was winched from the muck, the high school band played Columbia, the gem of the ocean. Someone called it the longest crash dive in history, and no one argued. Today, the Nautilus rests in the Gilpin History Museum, still surrounded by the ballast rocks that doomed it. It is quiet now, dry, finished with sinking. Rufus Owens' submarine traveled 0 miles underwater. It changed nothing about naval warfare, and yet it matters. It stands as a monument to attempt, to a time when engineers believed distance was a challenge, not a veto. History is not only built by successes, sometimes it is preserved by failures that refuse to be forgotten.
Check out more stories from history at davedoeshistory.org.